Hi again, and welcome to Into the Dark Zone, your weekly digest of everything and anything The Division. This is episode 12, and I'm your host, Crashblade. I'm also joined by Spider Monkey.
Good
How's
morning.
every How's everything there, Sean?
Not bad. Been a long week, but living the dream.
Living the dream. Aren't we all right? Video games, work, and family. What else
Yep.
can you ask for? All right, so remember, guys, to tweet us at Into the Dark Zone and ask any questions you may have via the comment section on our Twitch stream, as we will have a questions and answer segment at the end of our show. First up, we have news and events.
Not a lot for news this week. Just a quick this week's state of the game. Focus was on 1.2 balancing and some comments about bugs that popped up over the week. And they don't have an announced date for 1.2, but we did get a teaser how the metagame will change with the 1.2 update, and we'll cover that in the week in review.
All right, so the week in review. As you mentioned, Sean, it's been a rather slow week as far as the game goes. There were some updates that were released, which we're going to cover now. But other than that, it's just been kind of hush hush.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we got Uncharted coming out this week is what I've been playing, and
Mm,
not a lot
yeah.
to pull me back in yet, though. I'm hoping when 1.2 comes out that I'll be blown away.
Well, yeah, I've had quite a bit of game time. I managed to finish my incursions that I wanted to do, the challenge modes. I actually got two done this week, believe it or
Nice.
not. So yeah. So definitely thanks to the division LFG.com. That's where I found my people. Yeah. So I actually added them to the friends list. So it
Hmm.
should be easier to get people, you know,
Awesome.
and
Get them
finish
in
the
Mog.
incursion next week. Yep. Yep. I'll definitely do that. All right. So back on track. We can review Century's Call bug. So the Century's Call bug, which we just found out that it was a bug that we didn't know that was a bug, will be fixed in 1.2.
I do actually have that four-piece too. That's like the last thing I did when I played. So we'll have to
Yeah.
try that out. I don't know if this is people on your team or if this is just like if you're in the dark zone next to
Yeah.
somebody else that you can randomly get the debuff. I don't know. But
It just works. It works. It's the worst parts in the dark zone, I guess, because you're taking that much more damage. That I overheard it. It wasn't too clear to me, but the point is that nobody knew that there was a problem. But there's also going to be a nerf to the Sentry's Call because it's quote unquote too strong.
yeah.
So, but we'll cover that towards the end.
But for this
About our
debuff, I
thoughts on
guess
that.
if it happens to you, the only workaround right now is log out and log back in, and it should be gone. Just kind of
Correct.
a pain,
Right.
but at least you can get rid of it.
Yeah. Yep. And it's funny that I was doing. I have a four-piece set that I have that I actually got from one of the incursions. So I have a four-piece set now. So I got to be
Hmm.
careful using that.
Oh,
Um.
before we move on, because I
hmm
just thought of something we should have covered in the intro.
Oh,
Our other co-host well, our usual host, I guess, Champagne
we
is
forgot
off
to mention
playing
Mike.
HeroClix again,
Hey, Mike,
defending
we're
his title.
sorry.
So yeah,
We're
good
sorry.
luck
We
to
kind
him
of
though.
Yeah. This was kind of last minute. So
Right?
well, not Mike leaving last minute for us. Who were talking about something else. And next thing we know, it was 9. It was 8:59
Yeah.
right before we started recording.
Well, there's not a
But yeah,
ton to
Mike.
cover this week, so we're like, you're showing me Eve. I'm talking about Uncharted. I'm like, oh, it's 9 o'clock. Let's go.
Yeah.
So that
Um,
happens.
the weekly incursion reward problem. I personally ran into this. Basically, we know as far as we're in Eastern time, so we'll associate this with Eastern time. But at the moment, the weekly incursion reset is at 2 a.m. That is CET. For us,
Which
it'll be
is
8 p.m.
right.
Well, that's at their time. But what's not Greenwich? What's it called?
No, it's I don't know. It's
CET
Central
is.
Central European time.
Okay, we'll call it that. But
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
yeah, all right, I'll take it. Sounds good. But it's basically 8 p.m. Eastern. That's when the incursions reset. So what they mentioned, if you start playing the incursion before the reset and you finish it after the reset, the game takes into effect that, oh well, you already did the event like normally, like you would on the challenge mode, correct? But
Yep.
with the different being that the challenge mode, when you go back, you'll be able to do the second challenge mode, which is the new one, all right, for the new daily. Whereas the weekly incursion, if that happens, what happens is the system automatically picks it up and says, "Well, you did the weekly already, which obviously you did it the week prior, and it's
But you don't get
resetting
the
the month."
reward either way, right?
Exactly. So you get screwed out of two rewards, basically. Well, you don't get screwed out of two, but you get screwed out of that weekly reward for the new week.
Yeah.
And this happened to me because this was actually happened to me last week. We did an incursion on Monday. We started it like at 7:30 ish because we said, "Oh, let's
Hmm.
get a." I had a friend that wanted to get a run in before the reset, and he said, "Okay, well, let's go ahead and do it." We did it. We completed it,
Hmm.
and then did it after the reset. When we finished it again, we just got one item.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell happened? So that
Well,
explains that.
that's
Um, but yeah, but see, then we have players have also reported. We're just covering that they were not getting any weekly reward. That's under investigation. Don't worry, I don't expect to get anything for it anyway. All right, new features. There will be new gear sets, and some of those will buff specific weapons. It's funny they mentioned that because we actually covered this probably about I want to say what probably about 4 episodes ago or so maybe.
yeah,
We were
probably.
talking about that about weapons being like tailored to specific gear sets
Hmm.
or builds. So that's pretty cool. Kind of, but that was very vague as well. So there's
Yeah,
really
we'll
no
see.
details.
Hopefully, it's like this set works with LMGs or whatever, and suppressing or
Hmm.
different
Yeah, you know
options.
what? That'll make some weapons probably more viable.
That's
Um,
what I'm thinking they're gonna do to try to get everybody away from just using marksman and SMGs.
yeah. Well, yeah, they definitely need to look. Shotguns are, at least I've never used them. They're they go straight to the digital trash bucket. They get
Well,
broken down.
yeah, Scream used them to. They work pretty well. It's just when you get to the challenge modes and stuff, they're fun to use
Hmm.
and everything else. But when you get to like an incursion or something, or the way Falcon Lost is laid out, you can't use a shotgun in there. I mean,
No.
it's only good for when the guys get close or something. So
Yeah, because we can't snipe with our shotguns,
right,
unfortunately. So,
exactly. Not like the NPC scan. So
no, no, no. Did they mention anything about nerfing those cats? I mean, if something needs a nerf in this game, it's those shotgunners, man. I mean, I don't mind if they're close to you that they shoot you and they
yeah, I
can
don't
probably
know.
take you down, but come on, man. That's just crazy.
That's I mean, I'm hoping with this new incursion, it's more mechanics and stuff and other things that make it difficult, other than just guys that are really hard to kill that can one shot you.
Not
Because that's not.
artificially,
Yeah.
it's funny that you mentioned that because as I've played, being I'm like the last. A lot of our friends are actually they make fun of me. What was it Shango said the other day? Man, nobody will ever question your dedication to the game. I just found that hilarious. But
Yeah.
I have fun playing it. I still have some other friends. I got a guy that work that plays, and he's got a buddy as well that basically we play together. We run around the dark zone as well. So to
When
encourage
I
it.
finish Uncharted, maybe I'll play.
Yeah, yeah. You definitely. You know what? You probably needed a break and then come back to it. But
Yeah. No, I would definitely go. Like, if you're looking for someone and I'm on,
yeah,
I'd hop over if I have time.
at
I
least
haven't
get
had a
you.
lot of time to play in general lately. It just work's
Yeah.
been crazy. So, but
Yeah. So yeah. So basically, the new gear sets will buff specific weapons. Again, that was very vague.
mhm.
There's gonna be some new features to the VoIP indicator of the players now on the UE, so you know when they're broadcasting.
Well, I like
Phoenix
that. So
credit.
if you're in the dark, because before, if you're in the dark zone and like you didn't realize, especially if
Mhm.
I was solo or something and not in a
Yeah.
party, so I forget and be like, forget that, like, oh, people are listening to me.
Yeah.
I'm giving
Yeah.
away my position,
Yep.
so that's good.
Yeah. I solved that problem rather quickly. I turned off my VoIP in the game.
Yeah.
End of story.
Yeah. There you go.
And don't worry. Phoenix credit cap will be 2,000, which is good. That's not bad.
Especially when they're selling weapons for like 900 something credits. It's like,
Exactly. I burned 900 and something just buying the M4 just
hmm.
because I had 1,000 Phoenix credits and it had been already. I don't know if it was the week had passed or a few days had passed since I hit 1,000 and I
Yeah.
wasn't doing anything. So I'm just losing Phoenix credits. Whereas I can just buy something and just keep getting more Phoenix
Yeah,
credits.
2,000 makes a lot more sense if they're going to
Yeah.
have stuff that costs 900 something.
Yeah. Yep. The max gear score of items will stay at 204 and 240. So weapons will stay at 204 and
Hmm.
items,
And
I
the
mean, gears
gear.
240. Yep. Um,
So that's kind
which
of
is,
interesting. I wonder if I'm hoping this new incursion is a lot more interesting. I guess. So I wonder if I wonder if they always planned it that way, or if now they're like, I don't know, people don't really like this Falcon Lost wave thing, so we're gonna give them a different option. So now you can do like this other incursion to
mhm.
help gear up for newer people. I don't know,
Yeah.
but then people that are already or because people were complaining about the cheaters and exploiters getting geared up
Hmm.
so fast,
Hmm.
now they're not gonna be able to leap ahead again.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see why they probably did that.
Which is good. Give us different gear sets, different options to make different builds, but not
Hmm.
ways for people to leap ahead. Of
Yeah.
course, if it's not buggy and there's no exploits at the beginning, nobody would be able to leap ahead. But we'll
Yeah,
see.
exactly. Exactly. I mean, disable mobile cover. That'll take care of a lot of your
Yeah.
problems till you get that worked out. But moving along. All right. So on the inventory screen, health. This is something new. It's gonna be replaced with a new attribute called toughness.
I like
So
this.
yeah, that's interesting. I like that to a degree. Toughness is the sum of health, stamina, and armor. It will not include attributes such as protection against elites, etc., but it will give you a better understanding if the new item gives you a buff or not.
Hmm. Oh, that's
So
good because now well, this one has a little bit more health, but less whatever, less armor, more health, and so
yeah,
it'll give us a better idea of how it's working, as long as it's accurate. I
yeah,
guess, which
yep,
it
yep,
should
yep.
be if it's in game. Should be based on their calculations that they are using with damage. So
Yeah.
makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Um, the new incursion is going to have the same gear requirements as Falcon Lost.
Hmm.
So there's nothing new there. I mean, we all thought that there was going to be new requirements. Obviously, they posted when you look at the map, they said it was a placeholder
Yeah,
because everything that's there right now
name
is
and
not.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll have a new name. It'll have a new everything, but it was basically just a placeholder. So there's nothing that's going to come us as a purple gear set, but there will be new sets.
Yep.
Okay, so Um, what you were saying about the incursion earlier, when they first released the state of the game before Falcon Lost came out, they did mention that the incursions that they were working on
Hmm.
were already basically completed, and they were just ironing out a few things here and there, but for the most part they were done.
Did they say both were? Yeah. I guess
Yes,
okay.
yes.
That was a while ago.
What I mean, I don't know how many more incursions they plan on adding in there. If it was just specifically, three per faction, you
Hmm.
have obviously we already did the LMB. Now we're gonna do Rikers. Then we're gonna do a let's say a cleaners, for example, right? Or
Well, that'll
are we
be.
gonna
I mean,
have?
the next big thing is the paid DLC, right? Paid expansion. So that that better be a lot more than these two free ones. You know?
Yeah, yeah. That's interesting to see what they're gonna put there.
Yeah.
Um, because it's from the general feeling that I get whenever I hop on a random group, I'll ask people about the game, what they think about the game.
Hmm.
So I'm here interviewing people randomly, right? And everybody for the most part has the general feeling like, yeah, you know what, the game was fun, I had fun, but it's just the game's in a dry spell right now.
Yeah.
With the amount of cheating that's going on, and I don't know if in the dark zone. Well, I'll go back to I'm jumping off topic from what I was saying, but they basically fall into the same category. Whereas that we're at that, well, yeah, I'm just playing because I have friends playing. Um, I'll run the incursion if I have some friends to run the incursion with, but I'm really not actively going out there out of my way to get this incursion completed. Or if not, you've had people they'll just do the incursion for the weekly, just to get the weekly reward, just to get a
Hmm.
better gear item, and that's it.
Yeah.
but they're really not out there, actively doing anything else.
Hmm.
Which is it's something that at least keeps me around, that the game has at its core has a lot of potential, and hopefully we start seeing this things turn around with 1.2.
Yeah.
Um, Balancing weapons. You want to cover that one, Sean?
Sure. So the metagame should move away from the Vector, AUG, M1A because they are very easy to obtain right now.
Hmm.
Which I guess I don't know. I don't get what they're getting at there really. Because they're easy to obtain, everybody has them, so that's why they are used. They're gonna
But
be hotter. I don't know.
you can just keep crafting them. That's a thing.
Yeah. 1.2 will be a first step in the direction to move away from the known craftable weapons.
Yeah.
So, in 1.2, the player will get more better weapons, so they will, and that's more slash better. Not I know more better's not more better.
More better.
So they will
It's the
also use the
bestest.
archetypes that are now not so popular. Also supported with the new gear sets. So hopefully we'll start seeing more of the assault rifles, LMGs, shotguns.
Yeah.
Um, but they are not touching weapons directly in 1.2, so they're going to see how these rebalancing of talents and stuff go and the gear sets, I guess. Then they'll adjust,
Yeah.
which is interesting because I think SMGs are quite clearly they should change something there.
Yeah.
We've talked about that before. Um, but what they are doing is rebalancing weapon talents like brutal. The bonus is going to be additive, where I guess right now it's multiplicative,
Yes,
so
it
it's
is.
not going to be
So
quite
now,
as insane.
so this is a rebalance. That's actually a nerf.
Yeah.
I don't know, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, any of the rebalance is going to be a nerf at this
Yeah.
point. I mean, with the right balance we talked about last week, that's
Yeah.
a nerf, but that's also
Yeah, but
balanced
that's
isn't even
broken.
that's not even rebalancing. That's just fixing.
That's just fixing.
Yeah.
That was broken to begin with.
Right.
But
Which they should have said at the start that hey, this is not working as intended, and it is going to be fixed at some point.
yeah.
Right. We talked about earlier that before the show, Skill Up has a video um, talking about this where they need to be upfront about this stuff. Let us know that
Yes.
it's an issue so that because like he put tons of time and effort into these videos about getting these weapons with balanced on it and how because of how good it was.
Mm-hmm.
But if they had let us know, he would have said, hey, get this because it's great, but it's gonna go away.
Yeah.
And did I destroy some weapons that I would have kept had I known that before? You know
I'm
what I mean?
laughing. I'm looking at chat, and Shango's putting last mog standing.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that earlier. Yeah.
Ah.
Shotgun range is going to be extended by 1,000%. No,
Oh my God, right? But look, Sean, just to mention something real
only
quick.
for NPCs.
Yeah, only for NPCs. Just to you know what, touching on that skill up video, because skill up he does a lot of great content, for players and,
Yeah,
and guides. And he made a really good point, and I can sympathize with the guy because it takes time and effort, especially the way he goes about it. He gets very technical down to the numbers. He does the math on a lot of
yeah,
these
I love
things.
his videos.
Exactly. And when you have something like Century's Call, which was like his point, and he's very very nice about it, very political about it. It says, if something is not working as intended, let us know from the beginning, because
Yep.
now he's got these videos out there, and not only him, but a lot of other people that are also just like he is playing,
Anybody making
building
gear guides
sets.
and stuff? Yeah,
Exactly. Building sets around the Sentry, and all of a sudden now you're telling me, well, this is broken, this is only going to work with this weapon, this weapon, this weapon. Well, there goes, however many hours you just dropped into this game out the window.
yeah. Well, I
So
mean, as far as the Sentry's Call one goes, I mean, at least it's still good, and it does kind of make sense that now I have to use my M1A to get
mhm.
those marks because with the SMG and anybody up close, it's
Uh,
you get 3 marks on a guy instantly with an
yeah,
SMG.
immediately, yeah.
So it does make sense, and that one I feel is almost more balancing. I think, but even so maybe not right at the start, but as soon as they
Mhm.
saw this pattern of this is overpowered and we need to adjust it,
Yeah.
it would have been nice to hear that. Even if it was just a week or two ago in the state of the
Hmm.
game, saying, hey, Sentry's Call is overpowered, and we're gonna tame it.
Yeah,
But I guess even now, I mean, it's not changing until 1.2, which we still don't have a date on, so it is somewhat of a heads up. I mean, it
yeah,
could have just come out in the patch notes.
yeah. And maybe if I'm understanding them correctly, the main reason why they want to change it, it's probably because of PvP.
Yeah, I think so. In the Dark
Okay.
Zone, definitely.
Now, this is something that we've brought up with Destiny numerous times. Obviously, we don't do a podcast about Destiny, but we have spoken amongst us, amongst friends and other people that were saying if there's something, how can you separate? And in this game, it's very difficult because the Dark Zone is a PVE slash PvP area.
Hmm.
So, what can you put in there that says, okay, that this talent, for example, the four bonus talents or the bonus talent you get for the 4 piece set will not apply to agents. Only
Well, that's
applies to
yeah, that's
NPCs.
pretty easy to do though, for from
You
a
know,
coding perspective, if they wanted to. I think this one still, this balance makes sense even for PVE though, to me.
well, with the incursion, the challenge will be the way it is. I mean, it's a hell of a help, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that it's not doable, but it's I mean, hell, if you have shotgun or sniping from across the room, at least damn, give us some a damage buff for crying out loud,
All right, but
just
you
to
still get it
offset
with
it.
the M1A, which that's what it's designed for, right? You should be able to snap off some
Yeah.
headshots quick with an M1A, or if it's for getting in close, maybe it does make the shotgun useful. Because the shotgun shoots multiple pellets, so
Mm-hmm.
most likely you're going to get all 3 stacks with one headshot with a shotgun.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
about that. We'll talk. I'm not taking a shotgun into an
but
incursion.
that's due to the challenging mode. Like that challenging mode should be challenging for other reasons than you being able to get one shot and
Hmm.
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Should be more
yeah.
of a challenging because you have to use teamwork, and yeah, I don't want the guys easy to drop, but
Hmm.
I'd like to see them go a different direction with that. More, harder mechanics.
Yeah, more mechanics and less. We're just gonna throw the whole gamut of things at you and
Yeah.
just basically survive it. So, but yeah, but that's been covered at nauseum anyway. Moving on.
So, and the next thing we were going to talk about, I guess, actually was that balancing of Sentry's Call,
Hmm.
which we pretty much covered. But just to make it clear, in case anybody doesn't already know, it's after 1.2, the debuff mark is only going to be applied with semi-automatic weapons, so pistol, shotgun, marksman.
Yeah.
Which, again, it does kind of make sense to the. It was designed for snipers, right? I mean, that's what it was intended for.
Yeah, for
They
long
just
range. Yeah,
didn't think it through,
or
like a
for
lot of other
headshots.
things. Just didn't think it through.
It happens. I guess they just general and just put okay, just headshots. Create this,
Yeah.
and a headshot is any weapon can give you a headshot. So
Yep. So this next one's interesting. If you want to cover that.
the balancing of performance mods. Performance mods will be buffed to compensate the absence of character attributes. The skill buff will be a lot higher. Well, that had to be something because performance mods are just basically, like we say in Spanish,
Trash.
caca right now.
Yep. Throw it away.
Or you get them and you just break them down, my friend, because there's really no point in having them.
Hmm.
I mean, you get no character attribute, and what you get there's negligible as far as any attributes that you get on there. Just
Yep.
useless, in my opinion.
So this is a much needed change in my opinion because now it's you're actually tailoring your gear for your
Mm-hmm.
build.
Yep.
So it's like I use sticky bomb, now it's actually worth using this extended range or more damage or whatever it is that you're going to use.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that's really good.
Definitely. Balancing armor damage mitigation. Armor cap has increased, so the damage mitigation is going up to 75% now, and this is going to compensate for the new damage that we're going to be taking from all the new enemies that are going to be out, the higher level enemies, and the damage is going to be whatever the talents are probably for the new gear sets that are putting out. Um, but they said that to get 75% damage mitigation, you will have to sacrifice other stats. So it's not going to be as easy. Like you can get 65 now, just basically you can luck out if you luck out if you get some modules gear mods. I mean,
Yep.
with freaking playing Evo in here. I'm thinking same modules. Um, with you get the gear mods and you have, let's say, like a stamina with armor, firearms with armor, or electronics with armor, something with armor, and that helps out a lot.
Hmm.
Reroll your, you can reroll the or recalibrate whatever gears item you have. Add armor to that
Yeah.
as well. So it's not that difficult to hit 65. So we'll see how much more difficult it is to hit 75 now.
It'll be interesting to see
So
how it works out because they're saying that to get to 75%, you're going to have to sacrifice other stats.
yeah.
Um, but to what extent? And now these people that have all this extra gear that were cheesing the stuff early on that have a
Hmm.
ton of gear. I wonder if this is just going to make the Dark Zone situation even worse. If some of those higher geared
Yeah.
players are just going to be able to get to even more damage mitigation and still just be destroying you
So mowing people
in
down, maybe.
seconds.
I don't know.
So
Yeah, we'll see. Um,
what I would like to
again,
see though, this damage mitigation, you should only be able to get near 75% if you're like a tank build. That's what I would like to see. They
mm,
did a good job with like there's like with the healers. You need heals, so we have healers in here, but there's still no use for a tank.
no.
Because you can't draw enough threat where people are actually only shooting at you. I've found. I mean, basically everybody's getting shot at all the time, even in the incursion, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It'd be nice if you had that actual tank build that could take four of those shotgun blasts from the shotgunners. So if he actually had their attention, that you had a chance to do it that
Yep.
way, working as a team instead of just you got sniped by a shotgunner from a mile away.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that. I wonder how much damage a shield can take from a shotgun in a challenge mode. Probably two,
Yeah,
three, maybe
that'd
tops.
be interesting.
Yeah. Not useful, but it'll be interesting.
Yep. So things seem to be moving in the right direction at least, and hopefully, um, a lot of these changes sound good, but my main concern is just how is the incursion from this 1.2?
Yeah,
It
because that
needs to
that
be more fun.
was yeah, that's what turned a lot of people off.
Yeah. It was like that week. I mean, Division was going great until that Falcon Lost came out, and everybody was like,
Yeah. It was
I don't
downhill
like
from
this.
there. Yeah, definitely. Again, and you and Mike kind of hit that on the head last week about talking about the marketing, the way they went about,
Yeah.
marketing Falcon Lost, and
Yep.
they should have been upfront about it.
Yep.
This
They
is
said it
a,
was a horde mode thing. I've been more into it. Instead, I was
yeah.
like, I was all excited to go in there. I was expecting a raid-like activity. So I
Hmm.
figured, okay, it's not 6 players, it's only three, but at least it'll be, some interesting mechanics and, all right, we'll fight this APC and then get through that, and then, this is it. It's just this 15 waves.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, and making it artificially more difficult than what it already is,
yeah.
it really doesn't help, man.
Yep.
But you know what? Even with all that being said, it's been completed. People have done it. I'm not saying that the people that have completed it are happy with the fact that it is the way it is. It's just
Hmm.
people complete it because there's really no point in complaining and
Yeah.
crying about it. So it just bite the bullet and get it done,
Hmm.
and that's the way it goes. Um, what else? Tip of the week. So move on to the next segment over here. So for the tip of the week is actually gonna be uh more of a tip for massive. From I would say from a point of view from a user, a player, a person in the community. Okay, a lonely voice, not a lonely voice, but you know, we definitely need. I'm gonna agree with what Skill said in his video, and he's got more exposure out there, but
Hmm.
definitely we need to keep. You guys need to do a better job at communicating. Things that are broken.
Yeah.
Um,
This probably means
pers-
better team communication, which is always good. Whether you're
yeah,
going in, going into an incursion or whatever, or you're massive and you need to communicate with your community reps, right?
Yeah.
Because Hamish is great. I like him, and
Hamish is great. He does a great job.
yeah, and I'm sure he is relaying everything he a either knows or b is allowed to. You
It,
know,
it is.
so communicate more with them so that they're so everybody knows what's going on, and let him tell us because
Definitely. Definitely. Say, Hamish can come out and say, I haven't heard anybody say anything bad about Hamish. Hamish is a very
right,
nice guy. He gets a point across. He does a good job of what he does. And like you said, he's an employee.
yeah,
So he being in the position that he's in, definitely he's only allowed to share whatever he's given. So definitely that's a tip. You know what? Be more transparent. I know there might be some things that you don't want to get out now because they're either under investigation or nobody has found them out and you know
yeah,
them and you don't want people to find out. That's understandable. It's fine, but at least with things like the gear set bonuses, if something like that is broken, that people are building sets and building guides around, be upfront about it,
yeah.
because
Let
it
us know
it's
sooner.
yeah, it's a disservice
Yep,
to everybody that's playing the game and creating content. Definitely, but
absolutely.
that's uh that's a tip of the week. Communicate more with the community. You know, all good things will come from that. Um, Shout outs. Shout outs this week. MogNation.com, MogPSN, the DivisionForums.com, and the Discord. All our viewers, all our listeners from around the world, guys, thanks for the support. It means a lot to us. We're a small little outfit, but we're good.
Yep, we
We
appreciate
like,
it.
we appreciate the support. Um, oh, the DivisionLFG.com. Definitely go there if you want to find a group a lot faster. Sometimes, it's really nice. You constantly you hit the refresh button, and a lot of people keep popping up there. So it's very nice to go in there and find a competent group where you can cherry pick your people. So that's good. So definitely check them out whenever you
Hmm.
got to find a group. And that will move us to our social media Q&A. So we
So
have any
yeah, I don't think we really have any questions, but we can go over some of the comments that have gone by in chat.
mhm.
Aren't the paid expansions delayed a month on PS4? Which I think, yeah, they kind of had to be because originally I think the first paid expansion was going to come out in June, right? But
Yeah.
1.2 should have been out already or
Yeah.
nowish, and then it was probably planned already for like the end of June. So
Yeah.
I don't mind stuff pushing back as long as they start getting it right.
Yep. And I think they said it's only going to be the first DLC that's going to be coming out first on Xbox or something like that. I can't recall.
Yeah, I'm not sure off the top of my head. Um,
Yeah, it's anyway.
yeah,
Anyway, it's just I'm not too concerned about the. I mean, we can go back to how people were hating on Destiny since it
yeah,
was a PS4 exclusive. Them
right.
getting things before
Well,
Xbox
that one
got
was
there. So
ridiculous. I mean, ours is a
what's a year
month.
later to get a freaking Hawk Moon?
Yeah,
That's nuts. That
the
was
Xbox
nuts.
stuff 1 month,
Yeah.
right?
I can
One
live
month
with a month.
exclusive, something like that. Whereas Destiny was a year, which is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
So anyway, dry spell. No, the game design doesn't provide incentive to replay content. It's in free fall.
I don't know about freefall, but
Oh
yeah, it could
man,
definitely use. Any
yeah,
game could use more incentive to replay content, right? But
yeah,
yeah,
replayability
there's
definitely. Yeah,
they definitely are lacking that here. I mean, because I'm a great example. I don't have much desire to come back right now. I'm like, could I, especially with my limited play times, like, should I go back and play, do a daily in this or whatever, or go play Uncharted or Ratchet and Clank or a bunch of other games? So,
yeah,
yeah.
but he continues to say that it would be a great game with a better producer at the helm. Hmm, I don't know.
Well,
I guess
I don't know if I'd blame. Well,
I don't know if I
I
blame
mean,
the
you have to
producer.
blame management in general. A lot of the issues that I've been seeing are it's testing that they didn't put enough
Yeah,
into testing.
yeah.
Um,
Because the story,
Producer, as far as though like the Falcon Lost thing um, but again, I don't know how bad would that have been as bad if the marketing team was up front with
hmm
what it was, and if they
yeah,
didn't try to say, oh yeah, it's raid type activity,
yeah.
Um, if they hadn't raised our expectations so high, maybe it wouldn't have been so bad. Where it was a free update, you know,
Yeah, exactly.
might
And
not
he's
fix
saying
as
that it
bad.
worked for Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, but you know what? I don't think this game is at the level where Final Fantasy 14 was. Um, I mean, Final Fantasy 14 did take a really bad hit that they had to, had to re-release the game. Um, so
Yeah.
so yeah,
Um,
it's. I don't think that you know what the main problem with the division there is the way they structured the loot system, the way crafting basically just went rampant because it was. I mean,
hmm
it's not our fault. You know, that's the way they put the game out there. And we always said, oh, it could be nice to craft a few things here and there, but it just became the end game became crafting.
Well,
You know, craft.
the whole crafting system needs to be. I would like to see it revamped. We've talked about this before too, where if I sacrifice this weapon or whatever, some way to say I'm going to get this talent when I
Yeah.
make this weapon. Make it cost more or whatever, to, something to add in, but be more specific,
hmm
not just everything random. I can craft this one weapon, but it's everything random.
Yeah.
Make it if I get these parts or this thing, whatever, be that'd be nice.
hmm
Um, what's your Dark Zone entry spot? That was a good question.
This is from Rugged Dookie.
Yeah.
Welcome. Um, I usually when I'm farming, I usually going through the southeast. I'm sorry, the southwest checkpoint. I think that's
That
31st.
that first one, the
Yeah,
one,
first
yeah.
one right next to the morgue, the subway morgue.
Mhm. Yeah, 'cause
Yeah, I
you can
like
go right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like to go in through there because once you exit that, you usually have like a stack of enemies like right outside. You can work on them, keep moving across, work on the riders that are right up the street from there. So
I guess it depends what you're trying to do.
yeah,
That's
depends
a good
on what.
start for if you just want to farm XP or something.
Mm-hmm.
The other one I like to go in is um, it's not a checkpoint, but just the entry point in the top right, where you come in right next to the pit.
Yeah.
So it's you hop in and it's like straight to Division Tech right there, and then the pit right in front of you.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And
Yeah,
Shane
that's
was
what Shang was
mentioning
saying. Yeah,
DZ6
DZ1
for
for
Tech
XP and
West
DZ6
Side.
for West Side for only. Yeah. And you know what? With the changes with 1.2, once you get into the higher gear score, the higher bracket, that's East 42nd, same as
Oh,
me.
nice.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
East 42nd. Okay. Yeah, but with a high bracket, that's everything's gonna be released or dropping
Mhm.
high in Division Tech. So
Yeah, that'll be
that'll
good.
make it a lot better. You know what? Speaking of Division Tech, um, one thing that I think they should change, you know, making the game, switching the game for the better,
Mhm.
is making credits, just regular credits and Dark Zone credits, account wide, just like Phoenix credits. Because I really don't see the point in separating credits between characters. What do you think?
I don't see any reason not to. More than credits, though. What about mats? I would like to see crafting materials too. Should be
Yeah,
more
I
wide.
wouldn't mind crafting materials. Yeah, combined as
Um,
well.
yeah, no, I don't see any reason not to do that. First, I was thinking,
Um,
well, it'd be weird to have like a lower level character have access to like high end stuff, but they wouldn't have the recipes for the high end stuff
yeah,
anyway.
and there's no point in buying recipes over again where you can just basically craft the recipes on your
Yeah.
primary guy, and then you know put
Yeah,
it
so
in the
might as well
stash and
make
pick
the
it up.
recipes account wide too, like unlocks,
Yeah, basically,
because you
I
could
mean we
switch over and craft it and send it back anyway. Why go through all that? Just let us craft it.
correct. So the stash is account wide. The stash needs to get increased at
Mm,
least, or let us buy um additional slots.
yep.
All right.
Yeah, I
For
hope these Dark
either
Zone changes are good too, because Record Dookie's mentioning that too. Better gear in Dark Zone drops
Yeah.
absolutely. Which they said they are going to be. And there's those new multiple um, tiers or whatever of Dark Zone. So when you're higher gear score, you're in the higher, even not just the 160 plus. And
Yeah.
that when you're in those higher ones, that they
In
are
the
going to
200.
drop better gear.
Yeah, in the 200 gear
So
score
as long
bracket.
as that's true, and I think it is like more set pieces are supposed to drop from those
Yeah.
the whatever the parachute, the what do they call those?
Supply drops.
Supply drops. Yeah.
Yep, definitely. But yeah, definitely that would be a welcome change because the stash, we it's account wide. So what like you said, what stops us from crafting an item on our main characters, putting it in the stash, and picking it up with another character?
Yeah. And make the stash way, 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 way bigger, as we've talked
Yeah,
about before as well.
or at
Way
least let us
bigger.
buy more. Just a main stash, not just in general. I mean, there's no point. I guess if you want to make the Dark Zone stash a little bit bigger, but my main
I'm
thing is the
fine with
actual
that. I see
stash.
people complain about that word, but whatever. I mean, you really need to. I'm fine
Yeah,
with with that.
yeah, the Dark Zone stash. I really don't see a problem. If they want to increase it, that's fine. But my main concern for sure is the main stash.
Yeah.
Get it up from 40 and allow us to buy, in increments of 10 or 20 or whatever. Because my stash as it is, I have a bunch of gear sets there. I've gotten to the point where I have basically broken down just about every high end item that if it's 163, it's broken.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts. It's just no point in having it, right?
Hmm.
I
Yeah. Let
have
us
a
hold on to more stuff so we can have different loadouts.
mm-hmm, definitely, definitely. Um, I have a bunch of gear sets in my stash right now that it's just I don't know. I'm still debating what to do with them. I got to sit down and see what I have to recalibrate, probably to tweak some loadouts. It's That's what's gonna happen there. So yeah. Um,
Oh, and one last one. Yeah,
Ladus
Laudius. Yeah, that's a
convert.
good
Yeah,
idea.
convert game crates into DZ. Yeah,
Why not have some
yeah,
kind of conversion?
definitely some type of conversion system because, and I can see why. And you know what? I guess with converting, I don't think they're gonna want to make it 1-to-1, just because there is that inherent risk when you do go in the dark zone, of dying and losing credits or whatever. So maybe if not 1-to-1, probably
Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm not sure I like that idea. Maybe not. Maybe not do that. Maybe use credits to buy a buff that would like increase Dark Zone credit drops for the next hour or whatever.
that'd be cool.
You know,
And even on that note,
we just need more money and more credit sinks
yeah,
like that.
definitely. Even though with the fix they had in the dark zone, there's definitely a credit sink because you buy 2 or 3 pieces and you're broke. Okay, I
Hmm.
mean, with those changes, they actually because dark zone funds before they were like, okay, what the hell am I gonna do with all these funds that I no longer have? I mean, that I just have an abundance of, and
Yeah.
I don't need all these things in the dark zone. But with the changes now, yeah, I mean, the M1A that I bought the other day I was up to I think it was like 600 or 600,000 or 700,000 dark zone credits. Um, I buy the M1A, and now I'm down to like 500,000 or 400,000 and change. So,
Yeah, I don't know how much it is that they need to make a conversion system or how much they just need to rehaul the whole they just,
mhm.
they need to tweak the economy, fix the economy.
Yeah, the economy needs to be fixed. Yeah. One thing I would definitely like to see is like because when we kill enemies in the dark zone, you have to run like right over the bodies to pick up your credits, pick up the Phoenix credits, the things that they drop. I would definitely like to see some type of like an AOE type area where
Hmm.
either when you kill somebody, either you get the credits automatically, same when you get XP, or and get the Phoenix credit, or at least have some type of area of effect. So when you kill the people, then once you're within a certain radius,
That's
you
just
can pick up.
lazy.
Huh?
No,
Just
I'm kidding. I would like to see that too.
no,
Some kind of just, but yeah, so you don't have to.
my God, yeah, yeah, as it is. I mean, you know how convenient that would be. You're there. You're okay. You're out there hunting. You're farming for XP. You kill a stack of guys in one location. You just kill another stack of guys in another location. Now you have to go run over there,
Yeah.
then run over there, run across. But I don't know. That's just me. That's
Some kind
just,
of reasonable
yeah,
area would
something
be
reasonable,
nice.
definitely. Recalibration talents, no, I don't know. Recalibrating talents, that's, I don't know how I feel about that. Because then you have the situation where everybody's just gonna roll the same talents on the gear, and
Yeah,
that's
but
definitely gonna be
it's
broken.
the same as crafting a bunch. It would have to have a really high cost.
Yeah.
But that's like what I was saying with crafting, where if I could guarantee a certain talent when I craft something by using this
Hmm.
expensive thing, that would be another way
Yeah,
to do that. It would have to cost a lot.
definitely. And you know what we spoke about a few episodes ago, um, that Mike brought up the topic about having some type of Franken weapons where you can put together all these items and make this one
Yeah,
weapon, and the weapon will have specific talents, or these attachments that you put on the weapon will create certain talents on the weapon.
yeah.
That might be
Same.
something.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. You pick up a drop that basically is the talent, whether it's a stock or whatever they want to call it. But
Hmm.
it's like you pick up this thing that is this talent. When you craft something with this, it's going to have this talent.
Yeah.
So all based around just different ways to do
Yeah.
that same idea that they need to refine the crafting system.
Definitely. I mean,
Yep.
it's definitely something. Again, the game's been out. It's going on what, 2 months, and
Hmm.
there's a lot of things that can be fixed. Um, I know Shango. I'm like at the butt of all his jokes, division jokes. You should see all the gifs that he puts up about. Oh, I'm going down with this ship.
Yep. I love it.
That's hilarious. But you know what? I have fun playing the game, Shango. So whenever you want to hop on, I know you're not inclined to do any incursions, but we can run some Dark Zone. I don't see that happening anytime soon with you though. I have no inclination to go back.
Yep.
But yeah, but
Well.
definitely, he puts in there redesign of core systems to vastly reduce RNG and stat rolls. Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what? They the incursion, as hard as it is, definitely should be something. Look, actually got a warlord, and I got it because one of the guys that was in the this cat has gotten 5 warlords. Okay, I have yet to see one drop. And the other guy that I was playing with, who has completed the challenge mode numerous times, says I've never seen one drop. But he says he'll be back for 1.2. Awesome. I'll be waiting for
That's
you
when I'll
then.
be back too. So I'll still be here talking about it in the meantime, but I
Yeah,
probably won't actually play until then. Who knows?
yeah,
Maybe.
we'll see.
I don't know.
But yeah, but
That's.
the warlord, the definitely the drops. It's the warlord. I don't. I They definitely need to do something about the weapon drops in the
Hmm.
incursion by making them better weapons than what you get, at least just from base damage. Let's put stats aside, right?
Okay.
Just base damage, make them better weapons than what you can get. Because currently, the warlord that this guy trade he gave me, he goes, "Oh, I'm gonna break this out." I go, "Dude, give it to me. I'll use it." Right? It's a 204 warlord that has 10.2k DPS. It's like, really? I've got a 182 AK-74 that has 11.2k DPS.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Those
that,
ranges are. I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you've got another thing that they
We've
can do
talked
with
about
weapon
the
balancing.
system so many times.
Yeah, something else they can do with weapon balancing, right? An SMG, there's no reason why an SMG just like base damage should be going up to 10k, the same amount of damage that you're getting from an AK, like from an actual weapon. It's a smaller caliber, with the exception of the Vector. Let's say if you want to get very technical, right? It has a 45 caliber bullet, or utilizes a 45 caliber
Yep.
bullet, where the what's my call it, the other SMG, the Navy MP5, it's a 9 millimeter.
Hmm.
So so yeah, obviously there's got to be a difference in DPS, but there's no way that SMGs are gonna have the same damage output, as an AK. And therein lies the whole problem with the balancing of the weapons,
Yeah.
which, like they said, they'll take a look at that after 1.2 and whatever changes they're gonna do. So that's that's basically it as far as questions. Anybody else have any questions? If, answer, or buts,
That's enough division
concerns?
talk for me for a
Not
week.
division. Go back to
I
playing
mean, there's
Sword.
not a lot to go over, so I feel like we kind of rehash some of the same stuff,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
it's important things that
Yeah.
need to be adjusted. So
So on to our new section, the other new games. How's Uncharted 4 there, Sean?
I love it so far. So I don't want to get into any spoilers or anything, but if you like the other ones or Last of Us, it's kind of what you would expect. The graphics are beautiful. The one thing I will say that I like that is changed with this one is there's a lot more like constant dialogue,
Hmm.
um, because you have someone else that's with you. Um, I guess well, it's in the trailers and everything, so you're with your brother a lot, right?
Oh, so that's
Um,
cool. So he's with you during the missions while you're
yeah,
doing.
so yeah, instead of whereas the previous games, it's like you'd see somebody in a cutscene, and be like, all right, I'm gonna go do this while you go do that or whatever,
Yeah.
or somehow you get separated all the time. This so far, it's like a lot of more teamwork and stuff, um,
All
and
right.
which leads to a lot more dialogue, which has been fantastic.
That's cool.
Um,
That's awesome.
and actually, when you're stealthing around a little bit, sometimes like he'll actually like take people out here and there. At least he's
Hmm.
not just following you around. Actually, somewhat useful. So, but yeah,
So you got him.
so far so great. I've
Awesome.
enjoying
Awesome.
it.
As you got in chat, that Dom says he's still playing the first one. That's good, man.
Catch up,
Catch up. I
but
told you
you
to
gotta
play, I
play. Yeah,
think,
you
like
gotta
in normal mode and just
play
blow
through
through
that
them.
Uncharted collection before you play 4, because its
Yeah.
story is important.
Yeah, I beat part one. I still got to work on part two and three, and then
Yep.
eventually I'll pick up four. That because it is a great game.
Hmm.
Um, I've just been playing some Eve Online here and there, gathering some or consolidating all my assets around space. So
So you can build your station.
I can build my station. It's gonna be some work. So, but yeah, just getting back into it, it's like wow, just so much information. I haven't played it for such a long time. It's been probably 4 years since I played it, 3.5 maybe. Been a while. So, but other than that, the next game I guess that we're waiting on is Battlefield One.
Yes.
So we can
Yep.
see how that's
I'm
going.
very interested in that.
Definitely. And now somebody's knocking on the door. Why is there knocking on this door now?
Well, I don't know. That's
I don't know. It's
wrap it up anyway.
anyway, wrapping it up. All right. So any final thoughts there?
No, I think we've
Nothing.
covered everything pretty
Nothing.
well this week.
All right then. And on that note, this is uh this is it for the show. That's our show, gentlemen and gentlewomen. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Twitch, like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and of course, check out our website intothedarkzone.com. You can also send us feedback via any of these sources. Also, tune in next week on Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Say
Well, hold on.
goodbye.
We didn't get to that.
What?
That might actually change.
Oh, yes, of course.
We may not be back next week 9 a.m. We're
Actually,
looking into, especially with summer coming up and everything, and Champagne having more things to do on Saturdays. We may be changing the schedule, and we
okay.
may be going to straight podcast as much. Although I don't know, I do
I,
like doing the live stream, um, but in the summer, like I'm down at the cottage a lot, which I wouldn't have the better camera and everything. So
yeah,
there may be some adjustments, but we will be sure to get out the podcast fairly regularly. We're
definitely.
not going to stop.
No, we're not gonna
It's
stop. At least
important.
definitely the
Yeah.
audio version will be out. Well, I'll tell you what. Anyway, next week it's still not summertime yet, so I guess you know what. Next week we'll throw up an episode and we'll kind of touch base on what we're planning on doing. We'll throw it out on Twitter as well, and you
Yeah.
guys just give us some feedback.
Yeah. When we figure it out, we'll let you know.
Definitely. All right.
But thank you,
You
everybody.
guys have a good day
Thanks
and
for
have a nice
listening.
weekend. Goodbye.